Hi.
Hola.
Hi, hier ist Mr. Döse.
This is Michael Bradley.
Hey, I'm Memphis.
Hey.
Hola. Hello.
I'm here with soccer.com.
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 And I'm talking with my friends soccer.com.
See you soon.
What's up, guys? Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the limited edition champagne pack colorway of the Adidas Copa 17.1. In my opinion, the best colorway of this shoe that we've seen so far. Now, of course, champagne pack, the headline boot in this line was the remade Predator Mania, which is an excellent shoe. If you guys missed my video on that, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen. Nonetheless, we're going to be focusing on the Copa 17.1 today. We'll take a closer look at the colorway, as well as talk tech specs, and of course, how they fit and feel on feet. So if you're interested in learning more, stick around and watch the entire video. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, I'll leave a little pop-up on screen, or you can click the first link down below. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you'll be able to pick these up below their normal $220 retail price. So keep in mind that this limited colorway does bear a $20 premium over the regular colorway variations. Nonetheless, limited collection, so it does come in the special white drawer style box, and it also comes with a limited collection white bag. Normally, the Copa 17.1 wouldn't come with any extras, so I guess that's what your $20 extra gets you, aside from the colorway. Now, the colorway, it changes nothing about the shoe, it just, aside from the look, I guess. It's got the champagne colored leather, which looks really, really good. I would say out of all the champagne pack, even the Predator itself, the leather on this upper, I guess gives it the most old school 2002 Champagne Predator Mania vibe to me, just because it is very similar to how that original color was. I did actually have the original Predator Mania in that champagne color as a kid, and these really do remind me of that. Although I remember the original being a little bit more white, although it was a long time ago and I haven't seen a pair in person for quite some time now. I also have kind of a lighter champagne color in this meshing material that you have towards the heel area of the shoe, and then of course the champagne tinge to the heel counter and some of the sole plate with of course black detailing to mimic the Adidas World Cup, which essentially is the soft ground variation of the Copa Mundial. Of course, it's being named after the Copa lineup. You're gonna find black laces as well as black Adidas stripes on either side with the embroidery, the Copa logo right there, or the Copa name, and then of course the black detail on the heel with the red logo, the red tongue, and the red stud tips that are more pink than red, but from a distance they look kind of red. Overall though, I think these look very, very good. Very happy with this particular colorway. Let me know what you guys think though down below in the comment section. Now in regards to performance and tech specs, the Copa 17.1 is a very good shoe. It's probably the most underrated boot on offer from the top end models from Adidas right now, just because they don't really have any big name professional players headlining this shoe. So for that reason alone, it just doesn't get the attention that it perhaps deserves. So what you get with this boot is essentially a kangaroo leather Adi Zero. For those that were really big fans of the Adi Zero, you still have the sprint frame, you still have the stud pattern from what we had when the Adi Zero was in its glory days, but instead of just having the leather at the toe, we now have leather for the entire boot, or at least the parts of the boot that matter, the midfoot, the forefoot, and the toe area. The heel, it can be whatever it wants, that doesn't really matter. So kangaroo leather, and the quality is pretty good. Is it as good as a pair of actual Copa Mundials made in Germany? No, not necessarily. It would be awesome if these were made in Germany, by the way. I think people would be willing to pay a little bit extra if the quality was that good. Unfortunately, it isn't. It's still on par with top-end boots with kangaroo leather uppers. Can you get better leather on other shoes? Yeah, absolutely, but these are definitely going to get the job done. As far as modern leather shoes go, definitely no complaints there. It's soft, and it does get softer as you wear it in. And again, you get a good amount of leather, which is super, super important. Central lacing system, they don't feature any kind of gimmicks on this shoe as far as non-stop grip or anything like that, but they did include this compression fit tongue, which I guess now that the excitement of a new model or a new silo from Adidas has worn off, I think we can now look back, or at least I look back at this design and think, why did they do this? This does not have to be here. If it was just a standard tongue with a central lacing system, the shoe would have been way better in my opinion, or at least not necessarily, it wouldn't have performed better, but I would have preferred just a standard setup. They didn't need to do this. It doesn't add to the experience of the shoe in my opinion. So what they've done essentially is they've included a compression fit tongue. So essentially what you see here as a tongue, including this little flap, which also doesn't need to be there, is an internal wrap for your foot. It's an elasticated material, very, very thin, and it's so loose that it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't squeeze your foot. It doesn't really offer much of a compression fit as it's named, you pretty much don't notice it at all, except for when you're putting the shoes on and it kind of crumples up on the inside of the shoe and you have to spend time adjusting it, which I'll show you guys in just a second. The tongue though, again, they wanted to kind of pay homage to the original Copa Mundial with its big flap tongue, obviously a big characteristic or a big design element of that particular shoe. Instead, it's made out of this super thin material, not leather. It doesn't really look cool up or down, and keeping it down doesn't really stay down either. You can see they made it black on the underside, which is kind of a cool little detail. The only real way to keep it down is if you tie over top of that, but that to me just looks goofy and adds more bulk anyways. So I just wear them leaving it up. I don't care for how that looks either, and you can't really cut it because it's an elasticated material as well. So you're kind of left with this flap and you have to manage it on your own. Not the greatest design element in my opinion, but they did whatever they did for whatever reason. Low cut in the heel, nothing too crazy about that, very normal. It's got tons of padding on the side, which I really liked at first, but now that I've had more opportunity to wear these things, I think the padding does feel a little bit bulkier than it needs to be. If it was a little bit thinner, I personally wouldn't mind that. Nonetheless, it's still very comfortable. Lots of padding back there. It's a smooth synthetic leather type material. No issues with heel slippage or discomfort, anything like that. I'll remove the insole so you guys can get a look at that. It's a little bit different than what you'd find from the other lines from Adidas for whatever reason. It does have the nice suede liner on top with the Copa branding right there. And then it's made from a really nice ortholite material as well, although it is quite thin. Nothing too fancy, honestly. It gets the job done. And I like the suede liner. I think that adds a nice premium touch and feels pretty good underfoot as well. Just gonna slide this back in really quickly. And then as far as the bottom is concerned, they didn't really reinvent the wheel here, as we haven't seen from Adidas in quite some time now. This just has the sprint frame taken directly from the Ace 17 line. So same sole plate, same stud pattern, but I guess a fitting stud pattern for the most part for a modernized variation of the Copa Mundial. It's also FGAG, so you are safe to use this on firm natural grass as well as artificial grass playing surfaces. It's a stud pattern that works, let's just say that. If you've worn an Adidas shoe in the last several years, you kind of know what to expect from this particular stud pattern. In regards to weight, the last thing to talk about, these are quite light. In a size 9 US, these guys weigh in at 7.4 ounces, which does offer a nice lightweight feel on feet. Are they as light as some of the previous leather F50 Adi Zeros? Not quite, very, very close though. But again, the fact that the entire upper is leather, I think offers a more comfortable and just a better, more leather-like experience, a more true leather shoe experience than some of those older leather Adi Zeros. So if that's something that you're interested in, I think the Copa 17.1 is a solid option and you'll be happy with the weight that they fall into as well. Nonetheless, let's take a look at how these things fit and feel on feet. So you can see on the right boot, I actually swapped out the black laces for some wide red reflective SR4U replacement laces. And the reason why I did that is because I think that the red looks better with the red tongue. Whenever you have a separate color for the tongue, I always think it looks better when the tongue and the actual, the color of the tongue matches the laces, or at least has a pattern or colors similar to the laces. So the red on red for the tongue through the middle, I actually think looks a little bit better, but let me know your opinions on that down below in the comments. If you are interested in a pair of SR4U replacement laces for yourself, the website to go to is www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a little pop-up on screen, as well as a link down below in the description of this video. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in a pair. So what you can see me doing right now is fiddling with that compression tongue that I said is a little bit annoying. So what you'll find is that when you put them on, especially like right here at the forefoot area, the material on the inside will crumple up and it's uncomfortable. So you kind of have to stretch it at certain points to kind of make it uncrinkle so you don't have these hard spots on your foot when you pull the laces tight. And even then, you can see here, I can't exactly get it to sit flat on my foot. It doesn't actually fit that tight. It just fits around your foot. It stretches way too much. So the whole compression fit thing just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And you can see even when I tie them up now, it's going to fold right here, which is just a little bit annoying to me. It's not noticeable once you actually get it all set up properly, but the fact that you have to fiddle with it every single time that you put them on, I just don't care for all that much. So I'm going to tie these up and tuck the laces in the side as I do. A lot of people ask why I do this. This is just something that I've really pretty much always done for as long as I remember, honestly. I don't even remember seeing anybody do it. It's just something that I've done. So I continue to do it in these videos, and it gives you guys a little bit of a cleaner look at the shoe as well. So again, you put them on. Sometimes you get a little bit of a better variation than others. See, this one went on way cleaner than the other one did. So I don't have to fiddle with it as much, but it's still bunched up over here. One sec, I gotta loosen these. See, this is why, again, little things like this, just they don't need to happen. If you're going to make a simple leather shoe, make a simple leather shoe. There's things that don't need to happen. There we go. So that's all kind of smoothed out now. Tie these up. I like the fact that it does have a nice deep central lacing system, so you can get a good secure fit, even though the entire boot is leather. Is it the most responsive thing in the world because it is just straight up leather? Not really, honestly, but I think if you're buying this shoe, you're probably not too concerned about that anyways. They don't feel sloppy on your feet. And again, as long as you get the right size, it's not something you really have to worry about. So here is a look at the shoes on feet. Very, very comfortable. You can see, again, I did complain about the padding in the heel area or at the sides, and it does make them kind of, it just feels a little bit bulkier than it needs to. You get used to it very, very quickly, but that is something that you will kind of immediately notice when you put these on. At least that's something that I picked up on. But overall, very comfortable out of the box once you get that compression fit tongue thing sorted out. If you do put them on and you feel kind of a little pinch spot on your foot, it's probably the tongue bunched up along the side being pressed against your foot because you pulled the laces tight and it's just pressing there. So you probably have to untie them, adjust them, but that's pretty much the only thing you're going to struggle with in regards to breaking them in. Heel lockdown is good. The leather is soft. It's going to soften up even more as you wear them in. And again, the break-in process should be pretty straightforward, just like a normal leather shoe would normally be. As far as width is concerned, I'd say these are going to be suitable for just about anybody, even if you do have wider feet. They are going to stretch, of course, because they are full leather, which is always nice. And as far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing my usual size 9 US here, and the fit to length is absolutely perfect. So if you are looking to order a pair of these for yourself, I would strongly recommend going true to size in order to achieve the best possible fit. So that is pretty much it, guys, for my review of the Champagne Pack Copa 17.1. Again, if you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, you can click the little eye in the corner of the screen or the first link down below in the description. That'll take you to the review page on my website where you'll find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes. You'll be able to pick these up below their normal $220 retail price. If you have any questions regarding this shoe, leave them down below in the comments and I'll do my best to answer all of your questions. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information linked down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.